Okay, so what we are going to do today is we are going to learn the concepts of tenses with the help of this speech. All right. What I want you to do is this. You would be reading these exercises, like for example, opposite of courage in our society is not cowardice, it is conformity. What is this tense? I just want to ask you about, what you are supposed to do is just to tell about the tense of each sentence. Is it spoken in present tense, past tense, future tense? Which tense is used while speaking? In which tense are these sentences? All right. Let us do a few exercises together. All right. Like for example, opposite of courage in our society is not cowardice. What is this tense? Opposite of courage in our society is. What is?
So
Is
present.
present tense. All right. It is a helping verb which talks about present tense. So if you want to speak something in present tense, you have to use is, right? So this sentence is in present tense. It is conformity. Again, this is tells us that it is present tense. All right. Let's read a few more sentences. We produce here the full transcript of the famous speech titled "The Stranger's Secret" by Earl Nightingale. In which tense is this sentence? So whenever you want to find out the tense of a sentence, you should focus on the verb. Okay. Verbs are the words which show some action. Like for example, we produce. Now produce is what? Produce means koi cheez banana. So we produce. It is present tense, right? Since this produce is in present tense, the whole sentence is in present tense. We produce here the full transcript of famous speech titled "The Stranger's Secret" by Earl Nightingale. So this whole sentence is in present tense. The script is, again, as you can see, the script is without the long intro by Diana Nightingale. So this is again in present tense, widow of Earl Nightingale. So after that, whatever it is a modifier. We'll talk about it later. We hope. Now hope again is an action word, isn't it? Hope is again a verb, right? Whichever words show some action, the words which show some action are action words and they are called as verbs. And in order to decide whether the sentence is in present tense or past tense or future tense, you have to look at the verb. All right. So you're going to down. So you simply write down the verb in each sentence and tell us whether it is a present tense or in past tense or whatever tense it is. All right. We hope that you get inspired by his wisdom and insights. So again, this is in present tense. Let's go to the transcript now. I would like to tell you about the strangest secret in the world. I would. I would like. Now, like is present tense, but I would. Would is something which is in future tense, right? So here, although he is talking to us in the present that I would like to tell you, but this is going to come in future, isn't it? He's not telling it right now. He's talking about something that he's going to do in future. So I would is future tense, right? I would like to become a doctor. I would like to help you when you want some help. I would like to be with you. So whatever it is, this I would means future tense. Now what about this? Not long ago, Albert Schweitzer, the great doctor and Nobel Prize winner, was being interviewed. What is this? Was
Uh,
being interviewed. So this is
past.
past tense because was is in past tense in London and a reporter asked him. Again, asked him is again past tense. Alright, so wherever there is an action word, you will write that word in your notebook and in bracket you will write whether it is in present tense or past tense. Doctor, what's wrong with man today? Now this sentence is in present tense because what's wrong? What is wrong? This is contraction, remember? This S means what?
Yes, sir.
What is wrong? So what is happening
Contraction.
here? This sentence is in present tense because we are telling exactly what this person said. What's wrong with, so in this case, so basically what I want you to do is I want you to go about it like this. For example, if I have to do it for, let's say, this sentence, the great doctor was silent. So what I'll write? I'll write was silent, and I'll say this is past tense. That's it. So for this sentence, I'm done. And then he said is again an action word. So one or two words which come with the verb, I'll write that, and I'll write the tense of it. Again, this is past tense. And he said, men simply don't think. What is this? Don't. You're not saying didn't think.
Present.
This is in present
Present.
tense. Men simply don't think. So this is in present tense. You will say don't, and so men simply don't think. So you'll write. You can, if there is like 3-4 words, you can write the whole sentence itself. Men simply don't think. You'll write the whole sentence, and you'll write that it is in present tense. All right. Like this, I want you to write down in your notebook all the sentences which are here in this speech, and you are going to identify whether they are in present tense, past tense, or future tense. And it's about this that I want to talk with you. And it is about this that I want to talk with you. So this is present tense, isn't it? He's saying, I want to talk with you. So right now he's talking only, right? He's not saying, I wanted to talk with you. He's saying, I want to talk with you. So since it is, I want to talk with you, this is in present tense, right? So you will write this whole phrase, want to talk with you, and you will write that this is in present tense. Like this, in your notebook, each line will carry one sentence. It will carry that crux of it, what is the sentence, and you'll write present past like this. We live today in a golden age. Now we live today. Live today is again present tense. It's not saying we lived today. We live today. हम आज के दिन में रहते हैं. आज के ज़माने की बात कर रहा है ये. We live today in golden age. This is an era. Again, he is not saying it was an era. This is an era. Is again in present tense. That, so again, this is an era. So you'll write these 3-4 words. This is an era, and then you will write this is in present tense. You don't have to write the whole sentence. That man has looked forward, dreamed of. Now see, this is all like look forward, dreamed of is all looks like past tense, but he's talking about the current time. आज के ज़माने में लोगों ने पहले से ही सोचा हुआ था. So it is not past tense. Looked forward is again a verb. Dreamed of is again a word. Work toward is again a verb. But he's talking about the current time, and that is why it is in present tense. The first verb determines the whole sentence. This is an era. So basically, since he's saying this is an era, this whole thing is in present tense. But since it's here, again it is here, right? This is the verb. Since it is here, we pretty well take it for granted. Take is again present tense, and is here is again present tense. So this whole sentence is in present tense. Like this, you will read the whole of the script. You will note down all the action words, and you will write down whether that is in present tense or past tense. The biggest error that happens in speaking or writing is about tenses. When we want to speak in present tense, we speak in past tense. When we want to speak in past tense, sometimes we commit errors there also. If you start identifying the right tense in everything, if you become a little conscious about it, your mind will automatically tell you which tense should you use, and you will become a little conscious of the time, which is very important. One difficult way of working on tenses is where I ask you to write something and I tell you these are 50 mistakes and you correct them. But that is a very, very long way, because you have to write something and I have to tell you, and it takes a lot of time to correct. Instead of that, if you become conscious of tenses, on the first place, you will not write incorrectly. You will yourself start writing correctly. So rather than asking you to write something, I'm asking you to find out the tense, like whether it is present tense, past tense, or future tense. Once you do this, you will yourself become very conscious about using the correct tense, and you will gain confidence to speak in the right tense. So what I want you to do is take 10 minutes and do whatever whatever like, let me just tell you till what point. In fact, till the point we have read this script, you can do it till those, like whatever 10-15 sentences we have done up till now, we have done up till this point. Why do Rollo May, this Rollo May wala part we did yesterday, isn't it? The trouble is that we are acting like
Yes,
the
sir.
wrong percentage group. So up till this point we have done, right? The success, the trouble is that we are
Yes, sir.
like the wrong percentage group, the 95% who don't succeed. I want you to
Don't succeed.
do it up till this point. So for each of the sentences, I want you to tell whether it is in present. So you're going to identify the verb, like for example, any sentence. In America right now, there are. Now there are is present tense, isn't it? When he says there are, which means he's talking about the current time. Over 40 million people, 65 years of age and over, and about 330 million of these are da da da. They are. Now again, they are dependent. So you'll write they are dependent, which means it is in present tense because he's saying they are. Now we learn to read. Learn to read. He's not saying learned to read. Learn to read. We learn to read by the time we are 7. We learn to make a living. So you'll write this whole sentence. We learn to make a living. That is why this is in present tense. Usually by that time we are, again this is present tense. So most of them are in present tense in this, but I want you to do this exercise. This will make you very conscious about the tenses,
Sentences.
and you will write the right tense, and you will identify in which tense the whole thing is spoken. Like this, we are going to do the whole of it by the time we read. So, it will also make you very conscious of the tenses. In the next class, I'll similarly ask you to highlight difficult words or the words which you have never used in your life. It will help you to improve your vocabulary. So this script is going to help you in a number of ways. It will tell you about, like, up till now we were working on pronunciation and you have improved pronunciation a little bit. Now today we are switching to tenses, which is a part of grammar. So you will start learning a little bit about grammar this way. You will become conscious about tenses and how the verbs are conjugated or changed in different tense. And then we will talk about other things one by one. All right. So I want you to do this exercise in next 10 minutes where you are going to identify different tenses up to this point, and then we are going to discuss about them. I think you may be able to finish it before 10 minutes. So whatever time it takes, I want you to finish it up to this point. All right.
Okay, sir.
So yeah, you can start doing this exercise now, and we'll take it forward from there. Yeah, you can start it now. Right. So here we have highlighted the words which are action words and which are verbs. All right. And they tell us whether the sentence is in present tense, past tense, future tense, which tense is used, we can make out from here. Okay. So if we look at this, let's go start with this sentence. No, yeah, and it's about this, that I want to talk with you. So this want to is in present tense, right? I want to talk with you.
Yes, sir.
We live today. Live today is a verb and this is in present tense, right? This is an era. Is an
Yes, sir.
era is again present tense. That man has looked forward to, dreamed of, and worked toward for thousands of years. But since it is here, now it is here, we are saying. Again, it is in present tense. Since it is here, we pretty well take it for granted. We in America are particularly fortunate. So are is again showing present tense here. To live in the richest land that ever existed on the face of earth, a land of an abundant opportunity for everyone. Now again, this whole thing is in present tense because they are saying are particularly fortunate. But do you know again is in present tense, right? Do you know, he's asking you right now, do you know? Let's take 100 men who start even at the age of 25. do you ha- do you have any idea? Now again, this is in present tense, isn't it? Do you have any idea what will happen? Now this will happen is in future, but yes, since we are talking right now, this is the present event happening, and we are talking about something which will happen in future. What will happen? So will happen shows that we are now talking about future. To those men by the time they are 65, these 100 men who all start again is a verb, right? Start is a verb. So this is in present tense. Who all start even at the age of 25, believe they are going is again present tense. But you know, this ing structure, I'm going to work in a big company. What am I saying? I'm going to work in a big company. I am going to work in a big company. This is future tense, right? So going to tells you about something which is in future. I'm going to help you means I will help you, right? So going to is an idiomatic expression which talks about something in future. So this is interesting. This needs to be noted. I'm going to. They are going to be successful. Going to be successful means successful in the future, not right now. Now this is the second sentence is again interesting because this is supposition. It's neither present nor past. It is something which is like a supposition. Supposition means agar aisa karoge. So going to is in future tense. If you asked any one of these men means, see, we are talking about supposition here. मतलब अगर तुम पूछोगे या नहीं पूछोगे नहीं पता. So that is why we are saying if you asked any one of these men if he wanted to be a success, he wanted to be a success. Again it is supposition. If he wanted to be a success, क्या वो सफल होना चाहता था? He would tell you that he did, कि हाँ वो चाहता था. And you would notice that he was eager toward life. अब ये बंदा जो है वो पुराना चला रहा है इसलिए that's why we are saying he was eager toward life, that there was a certain sparkle to his eye, right? So this is all uh, in past tense. There was a certain sparkle to his eye, an erectness to his carriage, and life seemed like. Now seemed like is again past tense, isn't it? ed लगा दिया है. A pretty interesting adventure to him. But by the time they are 65, now they are 65 is present tense. और in fact it is in future. जब वो 65 साल के हो जाते हैं, right? By the time they are 65, by the time you are 60. So sometimes in colloquial English, in spoken English, we use present tense to speak about future also. Like अगर मैं आपको बोलना चाहता हूँ, by the time you are 65, you will be, you will live alone, let's say. By the time you are 60, you are 65, your hair will turn gray. तो by the time you are 65, तो भैया ये तो are तो present tense है. बोलना चाहिए by the time you would be 65, right? Because we are talking about the future tense. But then कई बार बोल चाल की भाषा में present tense में बोल दिया जाता है. So if you look at this, by the time they are 65, just to make it a little like अभी अभी जो हम बात कर रहे हैं उससे related. So they have said they are 65, but they get 65, they become 65 is better. By the time they reach 65 is better. By the time they are 65, one will be rich. ये बात तो फ्यूचर की हो रही है. बाय द टाइम दे आर 65 वन विल बी रिच, क्योंकि फ्यूचर में 65 साल का होगा ना ये बंदा. फोर विल बी फाइनेंशियली इंडिपेंडेंट. दिस इज अगेन इन फ्यूचर टेंस. फाइव विल स्टिल बी वर्किंग. 54 विल बी ब्रोक, बिकॉज वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट some future projections here कि ऐसा ऐसा उनके साथ होगा. Now think a moment. This is present tense. Out of the 100, only 5 make the grade. Make the grade is present tense, isn't it? जरा आगे का आप बताइए तो प्रियंका आपने क्या लिखा है? What has happened or
Why
in
do
some.
so many fail?
Hmm.
Present tense.
Yeah.
What has happened to the sparkle? This is also present.
Shabash.
That was there. It's past.
Yes.
When they were 25, it's also past. Become of the dreams? It's present.
Mhm.
And why is there such a large disparity? This is present.
Mhm.
When we say about, this is also present. And here
Yes.
is the definition. This is also present. Success is the
Shabash.
progressive realization. This is also present.
Yes.
If a man is working towards, this is also present.
Hmm.
That man is a success, this is also present.
Hmm.
He is a failure, success is, these are present.
Hmm.
And Rollo made the distress cypress, wrote a wonderful, this is past.
Hmm.
He says, this is present.
Hmm.
Our society is not cowardice, this is present. It
Yes.
is conformity, this is also present. And there
Yes.
you have the trouble, this is also present. It's
Hmm.
conformity,
Let us
present.
hear from
Acting
Sunil.
like,
Sunil, you have done it? Is Sunil there or gone? Your picture is also gone. You are also gone. Your voice is also gone. Have you done the exercise?
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Just tell us the words which I have highlighted, which are in which tense. And there you have the trouble today. It's conformity. So it is conformity. This is in present tense.
It's conformative is present acting like yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Very good. So what I want you to do today is this. I want you to read this whole script, just copy it down in a Word file, and wherever you find some action words, just highlight them, right? And tomorrow we will discuss whether they are in present tense, past tense, whichever tense it is. I want you to do this for the whole transcript that is there in front of you. So you'll read it and you will highlight the action words, and you will just, I mean, don't write it. Do it the way I have done it here. Don't write it, right? We can discuss and we can decide whether it is present tense, past tense here while doing the exercise. I just want you to read it and highlight the action words. Action words are the verbs. So wherever you find a verb, just highlight it. So this will give us a chance to know, I mean, you would become a little conscious about the verbs, and you would be able to identify how to use the tense correctly. Okay, so this is the exercise I want you to do. Just copy the whole transcript on a piece of, on a in a Word file, and highlight the words which are action words, which means which are verbs, the way I have highlighted here in this transcript. And tomorrow we are going to discuss whether they are in present tense, past tense, future tense, which tense they are. So this will give you a chance to read all this once, and this will also make you conscious towards conscious about the using the right tense. So this is what I want you to do. All right. So this is your exercise for the day. Just copy the
little
whole
bit
transcript.
confusing one sentence, actually.
Pardon me? You're confused in one sentence?
Uh, yes, you are talking about suppositive sentence. Actually,
Supposition.
like
Yeah.
if you ask, uh,
Yeah.
supposition sentence. If you ask, and I wrote this is past tense. So this
Yes.
is actually past or future?
If you asked, this is in past tense, and basically this is supposition. Supposition matlab, like, if, so supposition is usually in the past tense only. If, can you see my screen?
Okay.
If you
Yes, sir.
were the Prime Minister of India, now this is in past tense. If you were the Prime Minister of India, you would be living in a big house. Now you would be living is supposition, and this is like if you were the Prime Minister of India. So we talk about supposition in the past tense. right? You would be living in a big house, and if you were like that, you would be living in a big house. This is how we convey it. वैसे you है ना, right? If अगर मैं I बोलूंगा तो I के साथ भी यहाँ पर वर लगता है. If I were the Prime Minister of India, so this is a very special case where with I'm using were, because it is supposition. If I were the Prime Minister of India, I would have changed the whole country. So this is supposition. This is a special case, and of course it is in past tense. So if I were is past tense, but more than tense, it is supposition. It's a special case where we are just supposing something. Okay.
Sorry.
So this is the exercise I want you to do, and tomorrow when we meet, I will like to see your highlighted pages. I'll ask you to share it, and we'll do this exercise together the way we have done today. All right?
Okay.
Okay. See you tomorrow
Thank you,
then.
sir.
Bye bye.
Bye, sir. Take care.
Take care.